Madden football is the home of Super Bowl 57, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Los Angeles Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals. All that and more coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals taking on the NFC champions, the Los Angeles Rams. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis and CD, the Bengals. Well, they're officially no fluke. Champions of the AFC for a second consecutive year.
And how about the Cincinnati Bengals franchise? Before last year, they had not won a playoff game since January of 1991. They are now 0-3 in Super Bowls with the loss last year to the Rams. 2 previously to Joe Montana 49ers in the 1980s, looking to get their first championship in this one.
Meanwhile, the LA Rams, they are back in the Super Bowl for the 3rd time in 5 years. And, of course, looking to be the first team to go back-to-back since the Patriots did it 2 decades ago.
Let me continue with that theme, partner. Run it back has become the phrase in vogue. You remember, Kansas City tried to run it back, didn't get it done. Tampa Bay tried the same, didn't get it done. Can these Rams pull it off?
Has this one teed up, and we are underway here on EA Sports. From the end zone, here comes Brandon Powell. And not a good return here at all, as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. Now here comes the Los Angeles offense, and the man in charge of it in his 2nd season with the team, 14th overall in what's been an impressive career, Matthew Stafford.
There's just something special about Matthew Stafford in Los Angeles. 2 seasons in LA, and now 2 Super Bowl appearances. He's had them playing as well this season as when they won it all last year. And if he secures the 2nd ring tonight, you can go ahead and start getting his Hall of Fame bust ready.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it up to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now the first carry for Cam Akers. And able to find a little space. He gets us up over the 15 to the 16. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield.
Defensively, you really can't script the start much better. You get a 3 and out and a sack.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. They kept him short of a 1st down on 1st and 2nd down. And then on 3rd down, they pick up a sack. What tremendous momentum for them to start this game.
Here's Riley Dixon now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. Well, the Bengals getting set for their first possession of the ball game and leading them out in his third season. Really the face of Cincinnati football, Joe Burrow.
And everyone was quick to say after a heartbreaking loss in last year's Super Bowl, don't worry, Joe Burrow will get back here again. But we all knew that was no guarantee, yet he's lived up to it 1 year later. Here he is leading the Bengals back for a shot at redemption in his second Super Bowl appearance.
A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it.
Man open, that's Jamar Chase, complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
The LSU connection, Burrow to Chase for the Cincinnati first.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
On the ground, this is Joe Mixon. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Burrow will throw. And that is incomplete here. Hayden Hurst, former first-round pick, the intended target. And it's 3rd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
On 3rd down, Burrow. Flush to his right. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game.
McPherson, as a rookie last year, made a league-leading 9 kicks from 50-plus yards and added to it in the playoffs with some other big kicks to help propel his team to the Super Bowl. But that time, unable to convert.
And the LA offense ready for this next possession. Well, these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to that and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Everyone rolls into the Super Bowl saying, hey, I'm confident. I'll just do what I did before. But let's face it, you got to be wary of the jitters going into a big game like this. Super Bowl's unlike any other game you're going to play.
And now he's starting out 0 for 2. We'll see if he can rebound. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Stafford now to throw.
He'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
It appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one as a receiver is got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
One quarter done, 3 more to play here in Super Bowl 57.
0-0 our score. You are watching the NFL